Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome back to episode 26 of our Minecraft 1.16 Amplified Survival World. Today, my friends, we are starting off some new things. We are taking ourselves to the next level. As you can see, I've got my bow on me here, and I've got my shield ready to go because we are headed into the end where we are going to finally get an elytra for ourselves and hopefully some shulker shells in the process. Now, if you missed the last episode, it was the world tour and download, which is absolutely awesome. So if you want to get your hands on a download of this world, go be sure to check out the last episode for that whole thing right over there. And on top of that, forgot to mention it in that video, is I have a Bedrock World download available as well, so you can grab that. Link will be basically right where the Java World download link is as well for everybody who wants to get their hands on it. Now, if you're excited for today's episode, go ahead and click that like button down below. I'm gonna make up a few rockets here real fast before excuse me, Squiddy boy, before we dive off to the end stronghold and all that stuff. We've got to get ourselves ready to go. I figured bringing all of our netherite could be a very good idea. I'm gonna leave a few stacks of those in there, and on top of that, some emergency rockets after we get an elytra so we can actually fly on out of there is gonna be a great idea. So we've got the firework rockets in there, we've got our ender chest, we've got a craft table to craft some shulker boxes once we find them, and I'm actually gonna bring a stack of the spruce wood in here as well. But for now, we're gonna be paying a visit out to Wilson, heading on off to see if we can't find that boat floating out in the middle of the ocean where we found the stronghold last time. I think I know where it is. There is the ocean monument. We should be seeing that boat around here soon, I hope. I'm gonna be zooming in over here and see if we can spot anything around us, if even just like some light down at the bottom of the ocean where we maybe threw a torch. Oh, there it is. There's the boat. Oh, we can finally see it. Oh, that's going to be great. And I think there's the entrance as well. Perfect. It does have a little bit of light on it. There we are, back in the stronghold, round 2 electric boogaloo. I don't really know where the portal is. I kind of ran around this place aimlessly last time. Anything in there? Nope, no. Ooh, I'm actually going to bring that because we can turn that into a shulker box. Oh my gosh, is there a bookshelf library down here? Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, we're going to get so many bookshelves. Get rid of that creeper too. And anything else down here want to explode on me? Nothing? Any good loot in here? Ooh, alluding to Impaling 4 book. Wait, Impaling could be really good for our trident. I'm taking that with me for sure. I am 100% lost because I've never seen any of this area before. That bat just scared me a lot. Maybe I can find a secondary entrance to get over to. There's the second one. There are 2 bookshelf libraries in here. Okay, that's cool. We've got all the bookshelves we're gonna need for a long time. And ooh, sharpness 4 book with loyalty. Oh my gosh, there's so many mobs. Why are there so many mobs? What are you guys doing? Stop it, please. I've had to deal with so many today. I'm all done. Oh, there's the room right there. Oh, very nice. Well, I need to get an ender pearl so that we can teleport through the little portal thing. So, Mr. Enderman, can we, look at me, you're angry. I know, be angry. Be very angry. Cleared a lot of junk out of my inventory, so it is time to dive on in and see where we can go. Right, I forgot we are spawning in the middle of the void. We're gonna have to fix that here soon and make that platform a little bit safer, making sure we're not looking at any endermen. There is the portal right in front of us. It's like a rite of passage to the rest of the end dimension, is you have to ender pearl through the portal. Like that, remote getaway, and we're on an island. It's not a great remote getaway. It's not the vacation home I wanted. That is the vacation home I wanted right there. Woo! Let's go ahead and crank this render distance up a good amount to see what we can find out here. 28 should be good for us, and wow, we spawned right here, and that big ol' city is right there. Is there no ship? Oh man, I wish there was a ship on it. Could you imagine if this was all the exploration we had to do, was literally just coming right out here and we're done? Oh, that would have been so easy. That'd be almost too easy. Just going directly diagonally here so we can get the shortest path possible and hopefully save some blocks on this and getting a major pinky workout in today in the process. Now, one thing worth mentioning is first we should probably get our armor back on before we go fight a shulker and die. Typically when I do this whole end rating thing is I have a data pack installed that will make it so shulkers always drop 2 shells. I don't have it installed today, but I was curious to know what you all thought about that. Is that something that we should be installing and just kind of having on the world? Or do you all prefer to see it the more normal way where we're out here killing everything? And there we go, we have found the end city, and I should have brought a cow. Man, we could have used some milk out here. This might be one of those Minecraft myths, But if you have a bow in your offhand, as far as I know, you do get looting off of it when you kill those things, as long as the sword is in your main hand. Is that a thing, or is that just something that we all think is true? Still gonna try and kill as many of these as I possibly can while using the sword itself, just to make sure that we're getting that looting effect. But if we need to make a shot with the bow, we can do that too. Ooh, we've got a big old tunnel right up here to be able to get a bunch of these shulker shells. That would be, and I lit myself on fire. Great move, me. Great move. Perfect shot. 10 out of 10. There we go. Now we got him out, and he just dropped a shell too. We've got enough for, whoo, please get me out of here. Oh, this is not a safe spot. Oh, he was right above me. I was really confused there for a moment. Now, the next thing I was hoping to grab out of these was a lot of the end rods, because I love using those to decorate, and I think they could really fit the steampunk aesthetic that we are going for. Moving over to tower number 2 now, and this thing is absolutely massive. Trying to poke off a few of the outside shulkers before we wander in there, and hitting the end rod right in front of him. Seriously? That thing is tiny. Oh, no. Oh, thank God we survived that. Oh, one of my arrows that was stuck on that end rod, I hit it, and then it made me fall off because I broke the end rod and the arrow fell and knocked me backwards. That is not a pro gamer move. Headed up to the second gauntlet now, and this is a big one. Holy cow, we're gonna be fighting a lot of dudes up here. We've already got one shell though, so that is off to a good start. Seeing if we can snipe a few before we get thrown all the way up into the mix. The last shulker of the city. Just hit me once and I'm coming right up to you, buddy. Once I keep on floating, I'll be right there. You just hold your horses. And he gave a shell, perfect. Since we are all the way on top of this tower here, almost the tallest point, I figured we could take a moment to crank the view distance up like crazy and see if we can spot any more of these cities around us. Can go up to like 50 or so chunks out here, so let's see how bad it looks. It looks pretty good. That's what it is. It looks really, really good. Check that out. Right there, we've got a end ship over there, which means we can get our first elytra. And oh my gosh, this end dimension is perfect. So we spawned in right down there, big city right here, straight off into second city right over there, and a portal to go home right after it. Oh my gosh, this is a great day. I'm now just waiting for something absolutely terrible to happen because things are going way too well right now, and I don't want to jinx it by sounding too excited. I think our best bet here is to raid the whole city, and then we go up for the elytra so that it's a little bit safer and we can put everything away in here. Then grab that guy, and then we can get on out of here. Almost a full shulker of goodies at this point in time. We can make 13 more shulker boxes, which is awesome. My goal is always to have 27 shulker boxes so I can fill the entire ender chest. Actually, there's another shell right in there. But I always like to have my entire ender chest filled full of shulker boxes so I can just use that very, very easily later on to keep just carrying so much stuff with me. All right, the final challenge as I shoot an arrow out of my hand. Let's start moving our way over here. We've got to avoid the shulker blast so we don't end up falling all the way down. That would be very sad, but I think we can survive a fall from this height with Feather Falling 4. So that won't be too terrible. As long as we don't anger one of the Endermen, we're going to be okay. There is a shulker blast going right by me there, and I am scared, and now we're in. That's it. We're going. That's a go time. That should be everything on the outside. What do we have in here? Instant health potions. Do those ever change? I don't think so, but we've got another shulker right down in here behind the elytra. Oh, so good. There we go. The elytra. Sky's the limit. Yes, it is indeed. And what do we got down here? Any other goodies? Ooh, look at that. 6 more diamonds. Of course, we have to acquire the dragon head as well by coming all the way out here, placing some lovely netherrack around it, and breaking him off. Very nice. Look at that. We are good to go with the old dragon head. I love that. I love these things. They're so funny looking. Our ticket home is going to be right back there, but before we do that, I want to see if I can be a little greedy and spot a third city out here. We've lucked out with 2 so far. We're coming up onto the needed number of shulker boxes that I want for my ender chest. So if we can grab one more, that would be insane. Back up to super render mode, and hopefully we can spot something out here. We came from that direction over there, and we might be able to find something out here. I am seeing the edge of an end city right out there, and it is loading in. Can we get to that if we were to just walk? I think we can. There's a second ship. We have to do it. Oh, we have to. Do I ender pearl? I think I do it. I think I do it. Please don't get me killed. Please make it to the land. Don't be a bad idea. And it was not a bad idea. But there we have it. It is time for End City number 3. We have been out here for less than 30 minutes. We are already having 3 cities and gonna have 2 elytras. That is insane. We have a backup elytra in case we die and have to put it in the Hall of Deaths. Oh, that feels good. Elytra number 2 acquired, and we've got a diamond sword over here, some more iron for ourselves, and there we go, another diamond sword with sharpness 4. Headed off to the 4th city now with the 3rd end ship. Oh, that's still just mind-blowing to me, but this city is probably the largest one that we have seen so far. I don't care what happens, this is our exit portal. When we finish this thing, I'm gonna put a portal right here, or a pillar right over here, because if we don't use that, I'm probably gonna end up in the void somehow. Here we go, let's do it. Shulkers, come on over. Give me the shells, boys, give me the shells. We're just increasing in difficulty on these ships every single time. This one is actually over the void now. I've got to keep this ender pearl ready to go, and I'm already scared. A second, there we go. We made it all the way to the boat, though. Got to make sure that we're keeping some area underneath us. And hi, Shulker, how you doing, buddy? Oh, we've got him taken care of. We are on the boat. We're safe. That was the hard part. And just like that, elytra number 3. I did not expect this to be happening today. 3 elytras, that is insane. I don't think I've ever had 3 elytras before. I believe this will take us back to the main island, so let's go and do that guy, throwing him through there. And, oh, I got really scared there for a second. Okay, it takes you back to the spawning platform. That's good to know. Setting our spawn inside of the city and sleeping the night away. We can then take a look at all of the loot that we have acquired. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be good. And we managed to acquire 3 elytra, which is insane. We've got some enchanted books over here. We've got over a stack of shulker shells, which means we can get 34 shulker boxes, which is crazy. And look at all this random diamond gear over here. 23 diamonds on top of that, 3 dragon heads, and then a handful more stuff over here too. That is crazy. That was such a successful run. But before we can get up there and actually enchant this elytra and get it all repaired and everything like that, I figured we could put it on here super fast and take our first flight, as I almost killed myself. Well done me, but here we are flying high in the sky. Oh, this feels good. Wow, the base looks so different from up here. Look at the telescope. There it is. We can actually look at this thing. This is definitely going to be my new viewing point of the entire world. Check the base out from all the way up here. This is a brand new Minecraft world, my friends. Now that we got the elytra in amplified mode, we can start exploring inland, which is super cool. But now for the wonderful moment of using our decorative anvils that I spent way too much iron on. We will get a use out of these, of turning our elytra into this amazing Unbreaking 3 mending. That's impaling. We don't want that on there. Mending. There we go. That's what we wanted. We got our flipping wings, everybody. Oh, this is a brand new world. Look at that right there. And then finally, we can put the impaling 4 over on the trident. End rating has been accomplished. Everything has been put away. And I have got a bunch of resources here together for what we're going to be trying. Big emphasis on the trying part today of getting together something for an oil rig around our iron farm. I don't really know too much about what we're going to be doing in here, but thankfully we can bring a lot of resources in our shulker boxes and head on over. Of course, it's going to be nighttime, but that's also a good opportunity to get into this spot. Thankfully, with this iron farm design, we can actually turn it off by landing right here. Flipping that down, both of those glass blocks get moved down and the villagers are no longer terrified because there's no longer a zombie jumping around them. But we've got to be super careful about making sure everything up here is not mob spawnable. Otherwise, the iron golems aren't going to end up in their little chambers on the blackstone. They're going to end up all over the place. Probably with an extra 1 block of space in between the edge of the spawning chamber to where we're actually gonna be building around, so that should be pretty good. We're gonna work on like the middle layer of the structure, and then we'll work on the base, and then we'll work on the top. And there we have a big old box. This is the minimum space that we need to occupy for this actual farm. If we fly all the way up here into the sky, it's big. Not as big as the base, thankfully, so it's not gonna be oversized, but that is gonna be a rather large oil platform. I'm gonna sleep real fast and get some daytime rocking. Next up for the structure here is we got to figure out a way that we can detail out the middle section so it's still going to be more or less hiding all of the villagers and everything, but still feeling like an iron farm. So I wanted to bring ourselves basically as close as we possibly can to the edge of this so we can actually utilize the gray stained glass. Nah, and think about it, that's not going to work because we need to be able to access those farms. But what we could do is have these hoppers going directly straight down instead of out to this chest. Possibilities, possibilities, I think it's gonna work. Builds of this scale are always an interesting one, so we're gonna have a lot of big flat faces going all the way around, but I think we'll be able to make something that's gonna work out really well for us here. So if we start going and creating some archways in here, I think that could be a cool, interesting detail bit, and I guess behind that, to save ourselves some glass, we can actually get rid of that one because there's not gonna be any point to having it. And then if we have another one right over here, that can save us some glass right there too. Thankfully, this does line out perfectly so that we can have 3 wide archways, as long as I counted every side correctly, to be able to do this and make some cool little bits of detail out here. Now for step number 2 is actually building out these archways. I wanted to have this gray concrete come in all the way up to the top where we get to this layer right here, then we're gonna bring it all the way over to here where we can start off pillar number 2. Then I was thinking inside of this, we could use the light gray concrete as well to create these oversized archways, and using the full blocks, it should make it pretty cool. And then on top of it, we're gonna do some blackstone slabs of sorts to be able to mob-proof this section here and have it overhanging before we go onto a final 3rd layer that's gonna look like we got some buildings on it. Taking a quick look back at what side number 1 would be to see if we should keep going forwards with this. And that's okay. If we do a blackstone trim across the top, we'll have a blackstone trim across the bottom, and making sure that looks like we've got a lot of space below it. Time for a little bit of an update here. Is everything on that layer is in, and I almost feel like we're going for like a dark Roman theme right now with all of the blackstone and concrete in here. But I think we can really mix it up pretty soon to make it feel more like the Iron Farm vibe that I want. But those things should be able to work efficiently while they're in there right now. And I think what I want to do next is start tackling the lower layer instead of right now we're kind of focusing on this upper one. That is a pickaxe, not a sword. Since I feel like red/orange is a pretty industrial color that we could have with, I was thinking about bringing in a bunch of orange terracotta and building them going downwards. I've just got to find all the orange dye for it. Using a similar idea to what we had right over there with that structure with the warp wood, I was originally thinking about using that, but I kind of want to make this stuff feel very industrial over here. Is we can bring in orange terracotta all the way around like this, and then below that again, or maybe at the same layer, we can bring some polished blackstone slabs right here, and then we'll start working on the lower support section. That should give us enough height that the zombie will be mostly hidden down below. I'm okay if we can kind of see him from a walkway. Now comes the really difficult part over here where I've got everything in. I added in some andesite walls in here as well because that kind of started to blend in pretty well with the light gray concrete we have and really started to bring them together and almost like support beams down below. I was thinking grindstones, but that sounded rather expensive. Now, however, is we've got to figure out how to put a floor on this place that'll be probably at the base level of the zombie, I think, if I counted that correctly. Before we get the floor in, however, I think it'd be a good idea to get the support beams in. So the goal for the basalt pillar is going to be coming up right at this point. I wanted to make 2x2 pillars so they look like they had a fair amount of stuff to them. This can be really deep. For now, I'm just going to focus on getting it above water looking nice. I'm really liking all these bands going around right now, and I'm really also enjoying how much stuff we were able to get done with just adding in these pillars around as the supports. I think it's going to work out really well in the end for us. And I'm moving on to the next phase where I wanted to bring in all of these warp stems just to get another splash of the color and connect it back into that large structure we have in the base. Figured with the orange up here, this warped teal color could work out pretty well because I kind of like that color combination. Who would have known? Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. They are trying to jump down. No, no. Okay, these are exactly where villagers gonna fall down from. Oh god, no, that sucks. That's bad. And they're gonna start spawning golems because of that dude in the middle. Oh gosh, I'm so glad it happened only on one side. Good to know, villagers will try and follow 2-block space. There we go, we did science today. My god, that took way too long to fix, but we got them back in place now, and they are up there. I just set up another one of those minecart tracks and got them all boosted up here, grabbed some activator rails, and was doing the little flippy to get them off of there. And now it is nighttime, perfectly timed. Oh, I didn't even think about that. But what we can do next is get rid of all of this dirt up here. I'm just gonna let all the rails fall. I'll get them all out of the water later. That minecart can sit at the bottom of the lake if it would like. Pretty big lake though, I will be honest. Probably an ocean. I will say though, from far away at nighttime, this building is looking really cool. I've got to find a way to add some lanterns to it, and I kind of want to hang soulfire lanterns from a few of these andesite walls that we have in the area, because I think it could look even better than regular lanterns. Just get a little bit more of that soulfire blue color out here. 28 of them should hopefully do the trick. That means we can have most 7 per side. So if we start with like one here, one there, using the one off of the corner each time, and then maybe we try skipping in 2. And then if we do the same on the other side, that leaves just 3 in the middle. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. So it's just gonna be 4 per side. And with those being on, I hope that means I'm okay taking down this entire outer dirt platform, because this is where all the mobs keep spawning. This could be an incredibly stupid idea, but will this mob jump all the way down here, or will the villager stay in his bed like I'm really hoping he's going to? It looks like we're safe. I want to bring another 2 blocks in of this acacia trapdoor route going all the way around here, and then we can work on adding some staircases going downwards so we don't have to be flying into this thing all the time anymore. The really scary part about this build is that as we are creating it, I'm just more hoping that it's not going to completely break the farm that we have above us. I'm realizing now this has turned into quite a bit of a mega episode with all of the end raiding we did at the beginning, and now we're over here doing an entire giant oil rig build. Was not really expecting it to take this long or be this large, but I'm really enjoying the results of it. If you enjoy this kind of let's buildy style with a larger build like this, probably going to be a lot of highlights. I've just been honestly constantly recording. I have an hour and a half of footage that I'm going to have to sift through at this point and just throw the highlights in, because obviously we can't do an hour and a half episode. But let me know what you think about that. For now, I'm just gonna throw a few more stairs down here and see if we can use this as a way to get up. As we're doing an oil rig, however, I didn't really leave a spot for an oil, some form of pipe going down the center. So I might honestly rebuild this little section eventually and see what we can do instead. I do like the staircase being here, so maybe we have the piping rig not being centered, but just some sort of blackstone drill of sorts that'll be going right into the ground from here. And this could be some sort of a safety access point to be able to mess with the mechanism and all that stuff. I don't quite know. I'm working on everything up here for now first. It is the next day now, as I spent way too much time reworking the entire base area. Yeah, that last clip where I was just like, yeah, it kind of work. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. And I'm starting to work on the next floor of where we're going to start the upper level, the final level. And let me get all these slabs in here first. I want to do this and then turn it on to test it and see if this thing's actually going to function. And then from there, we can build the top, because we've put a few too many hours into this guy already. As you can see, there's a giant drill down there. And I want to see if from this point, can I get the power button? Looks like no. Controlled elytra flight. Not very controlled, not very controlled, not very controlled, not very controlled. Nailed it. Controlled. Flipping that up, and we should hopefully see iron golems only spawning inside of those spots, and the villagers should be staying on their beds. Please. There's an iron golem right up there. That one seems to be working, and I'm going to leave this on for just a little while and make sure there's no loose iron golems around while we can do a bit of a tour. So, and previously we had the staircase coming here in the center, changed that one and took them out to the sides. And now we've got a little rampart area around here. We've got this big old oil rig drilling device here with a bunch of polished blackstone, that type of stuff all over the place. And it's the same exact on the other side. We got all of these trapdoors, and then those lead to a staircase that just comes down here to the water level. And this thing is looking magical. You can see all the bubbles down there because I decided to add a bunch of soul sand down to the base to make it super bubbly, and brought in a smaller support system for the walking area with all of these andesite walls. I thought that looked kind of cool, and it is looking monstrous out here. I think this is now the biggest structure. Oh wow, please, can I land on things? These rockets are faster than I remember. It might be standing out a little bit against the city and the jungle vibe right now, but I think if we add some cool things on top that are a bit more in that style, which means I need to go gather a bunch of bricks it can look really cool for a build on top of this thing. Might not be the best thing I've ever created, but it does add a lot to the scenery, and it is supposed to be a rather tall structure being an oil rig. If you look at those things IRL, the pictures make them look tiny because they're in the middle of the deep water oceans, but holy cow, they are massive. This right here should hopefully be enough clay to be able to get everything done, and just gotta throw it all into the furnaces and find something else to keep me busy for a little bit, which I think is gonna involve a little bit of this light gray concrete powder over here and some light gray sheep for ourselves too. Gonna need some more of them probably, otherwise this pen is gonna take a while to get all of that. Where previously we had just the plain light gray concrete out here, is just feeling very plain in my opinion, to be honest. Hi, there's my face. I decided to take some time on this outside side over here and bring some extra just pizzazz into it, I guess we could say, using a bunch of the light gray wool as well as the light gray concrete powder up here, just to add some variation between it and get some different highlights into it. I'm not sold on it quite yet. It looks rather messy, but let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. I think honestly, maybe making the entire top section into some light gray wool instead of even having any of our light gray concrete up here might be a better bet. It's gonna lighten the area up a lot, which it already was a bit lighter, and the way that I have the concrete powder floating here is with string beneath it, by the way, but I think just that top line being no light gray concrete at all might help it feel a little bit cleaner. Right now it's just feeling too rough. That's feeling a lot better in my opinion. I like that, but let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Do we go with the clean, just the light gray concrete all the way around, or do we do that more roughened up pattern? Now for this top section that right now is just a spawn-proof platform of jungle slabs, I need to wait for all of those bricks to finish smelting, and then I can start building up here. And I think I want to do something kind of like what we've done with that guy and that guy right over there. Probably the polished blackstone for the roof so it matches up with everything we've got going down in these areas. And I think I just got to get that in. I've been up here building like crazy. Finally edited down everything that we have for this video. And wow, this is going to be a long one. But hey, look at this thing behind me here. We've got a brand new structure on the top. I've got two more things I want to add in. One being this circle right here is I want to build a crane hanging off the side, somehow being able to turn around the place all over and doing its thing and looking like it's able to raise and lower barrels and crates and all that stuff, similar to the guy that we have over there, but we'll do a different design for it. Then the structure on top is looking really cool. I like how it's turned out a lot. I think it's so fun. I purposely left the inside blank with nothing inside of it for now because I don't know what to put in there, but overall the structure is looking really cool with being the entire oil rig. Now the other thing that I want to add in, as I mentioned, I wanted two things, is right in here. There's nothing going on, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to come over here in this dinghy that we built. We need to have some way of ferrying people from here to there and everything like that to be able to get to work. So I was going to copy this dinghy design that I've done previously, just kind of made it up, but I really like the shape of it, and I think I might rework the end back here. I don't have any grindstones on me, but I want to see if they can be waterlogged. I'm really not too sure, but once we can get a small little dinghy of a boat over there, we'll be able to eventually connect that up into a dock along the edge of this cliff face and all that stuff. But I've got to get the crane in, I've got to get that guy in, and I'll be back. I left the steering wheel. Oops, I guess we would be crashing at that point, but we've got a rowboat in over here that's looking, well, not a rowboat, it's a dinghy, of course. It's the same design that we had over there that I was previously talking about. The unfortunate part is grindstones cannot be waterlogged, so I put it instead as a steering wheel in there. Moving on upwards, however, is I've finished everything. Everything is now done. You can see the start of the crane over there. We'll check it out. I wanted to flip this switch on here together, and we're gonna see where the iron golems spawn. I'm really hoping that they don't spawn down here. There we go, we've got one in there, and I'm not seeing one. Yeah, there is one right up there too. Perfect. Now, funny enough, I actually AFK'd here for a good while overnight while I was getting some dinner and taking the dogs out, and we've got a decent amount of iron in here now, which is really cool. But the even more interesting part is I saw cats in here. I'm not sure where they went, but there were cats running around, so we might be able to use this for some cat spawns here soon. We don't currently have a way to get on top outside of flying up here with an elytra, but I've got this crazy looking crane in here. I found a design on Pinterest and then kind of modernized it a little bit more to fit the vibe that I was going for over here. And so we've got a rail system going all the way along the top, going over to there. We got our grindstone as a bit of a pulley, holding up one of those guys. Trying to make sure this entire thing was mob-proof was a little bit of a headache. You can see in here that we have buttons and trapdoors and slabs and things literally everywhere. But I'm really happy with this design that I was able to find and use in here. I could not find credit for it. So if anybody knows who made this one, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to pin that comment down there. But I am so happy with how this build has turned out. This oil rig has been one absolutely insane project. And before we get out of here, I gotta go ahead and land on the slime farm pipe and see what it looks like with some shaders on. Letting the world load up for a second in the grand reveal of, woo! Let's zoom in on this guy a little bit over here. That turned out awesome. That sitting out in the middle of the ocean is so cool. I could just imagine these giant storm waves rolling in throughout this entire thing that would really flood the dinghy down there and flood the entire city. But you know, maybe if it was in the middle of the ocean, it could work out really well. Man, I am happy with this build. But as we are very up close and personal now here, folks, that is going to have to do it for today's episode. Thank you all so very much for the support on this one. I know it's been a bit more of a mega episode of sorts, so I'm way out of time. I'm supposed to be going on vacation here in a day or two, and I chose to do this. Great idea, I mean, right? Yeah, anyways, go ahead and click that like button down below if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are brand new, my friends, and I will catch you on the fWhip side.